Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Dan Lama here alongside Hamburg coach Derek Hill. Derek, you guys had your game earlier today. I believe you came out victorious by a score of 8-3.
Yeah, we snuck out a little 8-3 win against St. Mary's today, and boys jumped out early, and then things got close just to give the crowd their money's worth, and then we were able to close it out in the end. So, rode the bus home, enjoyed a fun bus ride home, and did a quick U-turn from Hamburg and got back up here.
You're a saint to have to do all that in that amount of time, but yeah, this is game 2 for me, and between Williamsville East, which is actually my alma mater, and St. Joe's, and so I've been away for a few years for a different career change. So coming back, when I left, we'll call it the old regime with Williamsville East that was in place. So it's we'll call it a fresh start, a new era for the Flames.
Well, that new era got off to a hot start last year. Wow, what a first year for Coach Guerin and his squad last year. And I don't think they've missed a beat this year. And we've got a dream matchup here. Really what this event's all about, to showcase matchups like Will East and St. Joe's here.
Well, I've been told that the pitching is going to be what most to look forward to here, is that first pitch is going to be in there for strike one.
Showing nice life on the fastball here to kickstart things. Pitcher Brian Smith.
Derek, this is a bit of a treat for me because, usually I just have someone within our Western New York Athletics crew that'll jump on color commentary, myself. So for me, it's a bit of a treat to have someone who's already involved in the league and in the game to kind of put their spin and their opinions on why things happen. So it saves me the trouble of, trying to guess why something happened.
Well, I do have a confession to make here as I see a hot foul ball down the third base line here. I'm very nervous. This is way out of my normal realm here today. So we're going to give it our best shot and have some fun while we're doing it.
Well, I'll give you a little bit of an ease here. It's an entertainment business at the same time. So as long as we can entertain ourselves as well as a crowd, we'll be just fine.
Perfect.
Throw in a corny joke. I know me and my partner Tim were doing it last game. It's just you got to have fun when you're doing this. You have to.
No doubt. Just a bit high there with the off-speed pitch. Certainly planted a seed, though.
It's very strange for me, I'm 26. I've done a lot of coaching in my time. I've done it for quite a long time, over 10 years, not at the levels you guys are at, of course, but I've known a lot of these kids since before they even went to varsity, and it's funny, I was looking at the Williamsville East roster, and I actually know a few kids that I've coached in the lower levels that are up there, and I could tell he saw me because he gave me the look he always gave me when he was playing at a younger level. As we get our first strike out of the game, it looks like.
Yeah, a tough competitive pitch at the bottom of the zone, too close to take here with 2 strikes, and Brian Smith leads off the game with a really nice strikeout here to keep some speed off the bases. Such a huge momentum builder when you can keep that leadoff hitter off base. Takes so much pressure off the defense.
And again, I just got to take a quick moment here to thank everybody involved for making this this day what it is, a day of baseball. I mean, for those who may not be from around here, this area is known for 12 seasons, not just 4. So we're definitely in the post-winter / early spring stage here of our seasons. But no, in all seriousness, huge event here on Saturday at Niagara Falls. Great complex, great stuff going on here. Huge thanks to Frank Wolf and Tom Prince, as I call him, Mr. Baseball. That ball will be caught by the right fielder for the second out of the game. Huge event here, Derek, for ALS support. And it's been quite a turnout for it.
What an amazing day it's been, and Mother Nature jumped on board to cooperate as well. And
Until now.
Yeah, we're feeling the chill as we've added a few layers here to get through the nightcap. But, yeah, we're going to need a couple more hours to describe all the thank yous that have made this event happen.
So Brian Smith on the hill for the Flames. And no pun intended, but remember the entertainment I was telling you about? Maybe these Flames can bring a little heat over here to this this table, if they'd be so kind.
Shed it this way, yes. Oh, what a...
Now, Derek, I want you to walk me through this for a second because, I've done it for so many years, and I've seen it last game. What goes through your mind when you're in the dugout or if you're on the side in the coach's boxes? You get a pitch. you know, you guys don't get the looks from the angles of the plate, but you guys get the shoulders to knees
Oh,
level. So
yes.
kind of walk me through that, because the amount of oohs and ahs, and then, you know,
It is
the
unbelievable.
audience people, you know, kind of throwing their 2 cents in, you know, walk me through what goes through your head on that one.
Well, the first thing is you have just a boatload of respect for the job that the umpires do behind the plate, and nobody's got as good a look as they do. That is for sure. And our view is very tainted from our dugout. That's catchers do a nice job of communicating too, and you just ask that everybody's really consistent. If we're going to get a ball off the outside corner, we'll see that from first to 7th inning, and you adjust.
I'm sure that's just a nice way of putting it, as long as it goes in certain
Yeah.
favors. But
well, I'll tell you, our AD, Pat Colley, always has a saying. He says, no matter what sport it is, the great teams, when you watch them compete, there's not a lot that bothers them. And we've tried to become that type of team. Hey, we didn't get a close call, so what? So what? We're on to the next pitch. And we try to ask ourselves, are we that bad that we need every 50-50 call to go our way? Hopefully not, and over the course of 7 innings, things are going to level out.
and I'm glad you brought that up too, because again, I've been, I'm 26 years old. Okay, so I've spent 21 years with this game, and I've seen everything. I've seen from parents to coaches to kids, and in my coaching experience, one thing I've always told these kids is, I was an umpire before. So you guys going to understand from our perspective the way we're looking at things. Now, that doesn't mean I always agree with what is called, but I try to give them the benefit of the doubt at the same time, because I've been in the shoes. I understand what's going on. And believe it or not, that's one thing that I always taught my kids was you got to learn to respect them, because A, they're not professionals.
Yes.
And B, you only have one view. And that's something that a lot of people don't realize, is that, there's 2 of them. There's not 4.
It all comes down to angles, no matter what you're refereeing.
We do got a camera up here in the stands, but, that's the only one we got. We don't have 4 of them in all different, fencings and stuff like that.
Yeah. St. Joe's is starting to drum up a little action. I tell you, the great teams find a way to threaten with 2 outs and capitalize, and it's maybe the doors opened up just a crack here with a couple of walks here to extend the first inning. Really impressed with the energy. I've seen the Willys catcher a few times, and he works as hard as anybody you're going to see all year. And he's really scrambled here to keep a few of these pitches in front of him here. What a nice breaking ball.
I was telling my partner in the last game is that catchers, in my opinion, are always one of the most funny on the team. Because from my experience being behind the dish, calling a game, you got to crack a joke with them from time to time. And some of the stuff they come up with really is quite humorous. And, you go tell the coach what's going on, and, they just sit there and they go, oh, yeah, they know it's funny, but they try to keep a straight face. They can't help themselves.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to have a few screws loose to jump behind the plate and do all the crazy things they do. Looking to come inside hard here, possibly. Wrong way. Just a tremendous amount of firepower here in this St. Joe's lineup. Number 18, Brendan Bucello, and boy, I've seen him hit some bombs over the years. I think a former Willys student athlete himself, so I'm sure he has some relationships with everybody in the opposing dugout. Always an extra interesting dynamic.
It's amazing at least for my eyes, someone who's gone through the, I went to Williamsville East, so the Williamsville Central School District area, to see individuals and just how the game of baseball has become such a bigger area here in Western New York. Unfortunately, situations with COVID have kind of pushed back the sport world, especially for high school sports. But what a way it's opened up, as that's going to find a hole in the left field, and they're going to try to circle one around, but they can't control it. Throw into third base, not quite in time, and everybody's safe as Bucello goes in with the double.
Look at that, some 2-out clutch hitting here. works the count to a hitter's advantage, drives a ball into left field for the first RBI, and St. Joe's jumps out to a quick 1-0 lead. With some ducks on the pond, who knows what they're going to be able to accumulate here.
Absolutely, and looks like we have Jeremy Connor who's going to be coming up to the dish. And back to the whole baseball thing here in Western New York is, with COVID being the way that it is, with the Toronto Blue Jays coming into town, playing over in Salen's Field, what an impact that is for some of these younger kids to go see professionals playing. And Will East actually was fortunate enough to have two brothers that got drafted by the MLB, Joey and Charlie Mack. Just to show how much the game is kind of growing in Western New York as a whole between those opportunities coming forward.
Well, I think, having the Blue Jays in our backyard for a while last year was outstanding. Kids would get a chance to go to a game, and they'd come back the next day and say, Coach, you won't believe what we saw here or this. And, you see their eyes get real wide, and they talk about Vlad Guerrero and company. Nice play by Cooper Rosano.
And Connor will go right to the third baseman, and he'll go up, but not before the damage was done as St. Joe's puts up 2. We're going to the bottom of 1. We'll be right back after this.
When it's time to sell your home, start with a visit to howardhanna.com, ranked the #1 real estate site for sellers. A few clicks will show you the sales price you can expect for your home. We can get you the most money in the quickest amount of time because we know where the local buyers are and how to reach them. So if it's time to sell your home, visit howardhanna.com today, and we'll match you with a local Howard Hanna agent to sell your home fast.
I love being home.
If you've been injured in an auto accident, large or small, call 681-4088. RES Physical Medicine and Rehab right away. If you are in pain or just sore, don't take chances. Call RES today and take advantage of their 24 to 48-hour appointment pledge. With no copays, RES will help navigate the confusing world of no-fault insurance with you, so you can concentrate on getting better. 681-4088. RES Physical Medicine and Rehab. The most important call you can make after an auto accident.
Avoiding care can lead to worse problems. Don't delay care. We're here for you. Western New York Immediate Care provides quick, quality care for non-emergent injuries and illnesses. Go to WNYImmediatecare.com for more information.
Bottom of 1 action here. St. Joe's putting up a run coming off. Will East looking to get the bats going here. Nathan Milk will start things off, the center fielder.
Nathan's Niagara commit, another one of the D1 commits we've got in our Western New York community. And that list is a lengthy list. But I'll tell you, this is the road runner. This is the human road runner, and I'm sure these infielders know his package very well, and they're going to be ready to get rid of the ball quickly.
And right away, first pitch, a shot to center field there to make the catch. And you know what? I've got no problem with that whatsoever. You come in, test the pitcher, take a swing. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, that's okay too. But, hey, I love the aggressiveness.
When you hit it that hard, there's no regrets there. Yep, love the aggressiveness. And, a lot of hitters are more comfortable seeing their first pitch. But, man, when you can jump on a fastball like that, and I think this Willie's team does a great job of attacking and hunting fastballs.
So I got to ask, because I saw a kid from St. Francis in the earlier game do this. What does the dugout reaction look like when a kid throws an off-speed pitch, or, and you can correct me if I'm wrong in the coaching world, but, I was always, enough with the garbage, just throw the fastball, something that you always rely on. But every now and again you get a kid that can get a curveball or a changeup, slider. I mean, kids are developing these pitches at a younger age every time I look. What is the dugout reaction to something like that? Is a pop-up going here, the shortstop calls it off? Fighting the wind, but he makes the catch.
Wait a second. Joey Haynes out there, another Division I commit, heading to Canisius next year to be a Griff. Stays with it. I'm sure the wind swirling up in the air made that one a little extra interesting. And great job of taking charge there by the leader at shortstop. No, yeah, the attitude is funny. It's kind of like, sometimes that quick three-point shot in basketball, the coach, when you release it, the coach is like, what are you doing? And then when it goes in, you're like, great shot. And I think sometimes when their pitchers get cute with their off-speed stuff, it's, when you drop it in there for a strike, you're like, okay, great pitch. But, yeah, we got a hit batter to extend the first inning here.
Have you ever had a moment, at least in your coaching career, where a kid has done something where you just kind of you give the bug eyes because you're like, oh, did that just happen?
Oh, there's no doubt. Yeah, we could, yeah.
Or I think that's a whole other broadcast.
Yeah,
a whole other
we
game
could
for that
fill
kind of maybe a little warmer scenarios. That's lined right to the shortstop, and that's going to conclude the first inning. No score, no hits, no runs as we go to the top of the second.
When it's time to sell your home, start with a visit to howardhanna.com, ranked the #1 real estate site for sellers. A few clicks will show you the sales price you can expect for your home. We can get you the most money in the quickest amount of time because we know where the local buyers are and how to reach them. So if it's time to sell your home, visit howardhanna.com today, and we'll match you with a local Howard Hanna agent to sell your home fast.
I love being home.
Avoiding care can lead to worse problems. Don't delay care. We're here for you. Western New York Immediate Care provides quick, quality care for non-emergent injuries and illnesses. Go to WNYImmediatecare.com for more information.
Welcome back, folks. Top of the second inning here. Myself alongside Derek Hill, coach of Hamburg. And, Coach, you were just talking about your ECIC bracket here a second ago, how you guys were, but now you were invited to go up because you had more of an enrollment?
Yeah, yep. So we're, as ECIC tries to balance the numbers and keep an equal amount of teams in the 4 divisions, it was our turn to go up to Division 1. And no matter how you slice it or dice it, ECIC 2, ECIC 1, just loaded with just some titanic programs. And, so whether you're playing Will East, Will South, and Star Point, or, Clarence, Lancaster, Orchard Park, Will North, it's really tough sledding no matter what.
First pitch at the at-bat will be sliced. It's going down the line, but foul.
It's going to be interesting to watch our pitcher, Brian Smith, here as he settles into the second inning. I thought he showed 2 great pitches in that first inning, and as he gets more comfortable and starts to locate even better, I think if he gets comfortable, he could have a really strong day here today as we see strike 2.
So Derek, I was talking to a couple of guys here in between games, and we were talking about how, Niagara Falls with a very lovely complex here. The only design flaw is where they put the parking lot. Because it's, again, that one's sliced foul. But, you're sitting here on at least the field that we're on. The parking lot is in deep left center field, and then it goes adjacent to where foul territory is on the other field.
There's a lot of vehicles in dangerous territory today.
Right.
We had one back window get smashed out in our game today, and I guess you're always at risk of that.
Yeah, I was parked next to it, and then I moved.
Smart man.
I was parked next to it, and then I moved.
Yeah, no messing around there.
As Willies gets the second strikeout, down looking, and Aaron Gents will come up.
No,
Joe's.
The facilities here are incredible, just incredible. Niagara Falls has done a tremendous job of giving their student athletes just a great environment to train and compete in. And I think when you have these turf facilities, your competitive advantage is how many practices you get in. In conjunction with getting in those early April games that other teams are going to have to cancel.
So let me ask you this, in your personal opinion. You know, a lot of schools are going to this turf style of play. And I know I could probably speak for yourself when I say you and I grew up with the grass and the dirt.
Yes.
Now, again, this goes into play with our 12 seasons here in Western New York. But what do you think? Good moves, you know, does it take away from the pastime of getting down and dirty?
It does. It does. And I'll tell you, you know, there's nothing more aesthetically pleasing than a really well manicured field. But the reality is, if we're going to play games and compete and prepare our athletes with a chance to, you know, reach their potential and play at a college level, turf is really the only way to go in Western New York. And the numbers speak for themselves. The percentage of schools that have turfs currently, as well as I think in 5 years, you're going to see almost 100% turf.
Yeah, I mean, I'm speaking from experience with, you know, when I went to East, I graduated in 2013, and they didn't have, I mean, you looked in the back, you had tennis courts here, 2 baseball fields, and the football field was way in the back. Now, you know, we went back there when I was coaching for Will South, and everything's turf. You have a soccer and lacrosse here, you got baseball and softball over here, and they all connect.
Yeah, I know Chris Muchika and the rest of his team there at Williamsville, they really got it right. They did a tremendous job at Will East. You get off the bus and you feel like you're walking into Disneyland almost, and the layout is really well done. Everything flows. Yeah, kudos to them.
I'll have the privilege of calling Mooch Mickey Mouse in that regard. Then listen, when I was Chris Muchika was my athletic director when I was at East. And then I had the honor of coaching his son Bryce when he up at that level with Nick Tabone, who's currently on Williamsville East right now.
Yep.
So a lot of flashbacks coming back at me there.
Oh, that's outstanding. St. Joe's with a stealing second base there. We got a runner in scoring position.
So Colin Mankey up at the dish. Didn't like that one, a little bit too high.
Good discipline laying off. That is a very tempting pitch for a lot of young hitters, and great plate discipline. He's waiting for his pitch here.
So explain to me the wood versus aluminum bat situation here. I mean, now, I didn't play at the high school level, but I did play at an independent level, so I've used wooden and aluminum bats. You know, obviously aluminum's got a bit more pop, but, you know, it says something different about maybe the power of a team when you're using wood bats, where you have enough confidence to use it.
And extremely well skilled. I tell you, Brian Smith takes advantage of the strike 2 call to come back with some more high heat. But no, when you're swinging wood, there is no room for error. There is a sweet spot, but boy, if you miss that sweet spot, it's not going to do much. And these guys are extremely skilled. Their hand-eye coordination is so elite, and they find a way to barrel up so many.
I had friends of mine that went out and bought those like $200-300 bamboo bats, and I'll never forget this one kid that I had on my team. He was one of our better ball players. Took a swing on the inside.
Oh no!
And you heard that sound. That, let's just say, the sound that it made was not the sound of that ball going out of the park. And he came back, and the bat was split in 2.
That makes my heart cry.
And I remember I went home that night with my dad, and my dad goes, "Yep, I think he cried a little bit on the inside because he's like, I could not imagine dropping that kind of money on a bat just to have it break the first use in the first swing."
You know, I think a lot of these bat companies are a little, you know, they're pretty generous on some of their guarantees, but I haven't tested that out myself to see. Hopefully he got a new bat to replace that one.
I was lucky enough, you know, I had just a classic Louisville Slugger 34-inch. Never had I was able to hit with it, never broke it. So my dad thanked me kindly for it. He also thanked me because it was the cheaper of all the options that he had. So. So again, coming into what I asked you earlier, you know, we've seen a couple of pitches that have come here just at least from our angle, it looks like they've missed. But, naturally, you try to get maybe it's just a ploy to get the dugout fired up, maybe more so than anything else.
Boy, he is not giving in. He is going, I think that's 4 outstanding curveballs in a row. They feel like they've got they're committed to their plan here. I'll give them credit. But yeah, some 50-50 balls that have gone both ways, and these pitchers are working hard. There it is. Stuck with it for 5 in a row. Boy, I tell you, the leadoff hitter for Joe's handles the bat so well. You can see the strike zone awareness. You can see the quick hands. Stays in yes mode for a very long time. Just an outstanding at bat.
That gets popped up. Shortstop tracking it right on the bag itself, and he makes the play for the final out of the inning. So no runs, no hits, and no score up to this point, minus the 1-0 lead for St. Joe's. And that will take us to the bottom of the second. We'll be right back after this quick commercial break.
When it's time to sell your home, start with a visit to howardhanna.com, ranked the #1 real estate site for sellers. A few clicks will show you the sales price you can expect for your home. We can get you the most money in the quickest amount of time because we know where the local buyers are and how to reach them. So if it's time to sell your home, visit howardhanna.com today, and we'll match you with a local Howard Hanna agent to sell your home fast.
I love being home.
Avoiding care can lead to worse problems. Don't delay care. We're here for you. Western New York Immediate Care provides quick, quality care for non-emergent injuries and illnesses. Go to WNYImmediatecare.com for more information.
Welcome back, folks, to a very windy game here at Niagara Falls. Myself, along with Hamburg coach Derek Hill. Derek, we've seen pretty back and forth here. Only 1 run scored through 1.5 innings. As Willis is coming up to bat, this is going to be number 5, 6, and 7. Carmen Pinero will go first. A lot of lefties I've noticed here.
Oh, they lefties for days and speed to go with it. I'll tell you, everything we've anticipated here today. This is an extremely competitive matchup. 2 of the premier teams and programs that you're going to see in Western New York, and they're locked horns going to battle.
I don't know, maybe this is just me. Maybe I'm old-fashioned this way, but, I'm a sucker for a good 2-school competition. I mean, it's different now with the way the coaching styles have changed over the years, but this is prime examples of 2 good organizations, or 2 schools, I beg your pardon, that are going head-to-head here. Is a nice off-speed pitch.
That was as good a changeup as you're going to see. That was outstanding by our pitcher, David Alessi.
That one grounded right to the first baseman, and he'll just take control of it with ease for the first out. So Ryan Freiling will be coming up.
Boy, I think we don't have the luxury of seeing St. Joe's Division I catcher, Tom Zwarecki, in the DH role here today, but I'll tell you what a luxury Coach Naska has to have, oh gosh, I'm going to mispronounce this, but Derek Onovello doing a great job receiving here today. He's looked sharp on his throwdowns between innings, and just what a pleasure to be able to plug a guy like that in while giving your star catcher a little bit of rest. I think St. Joe snuck in a league game this morning with St. Francis, I believe, so they are having a great day of baseball. Nice
That
shot.
ball is sliced out to left field, and that's going to be easy pickings for the left fielder for the second out.
Let's say, great job of going with the pitch and driving it the other way. Nice little power oppo. Unfortunately, right at the left fielder.
It's Anthony Greco that's standing out there.
Speaking of stars, a returning all-Western New York star committed to William & Mary, and get this, just a junior.
Wow.
William & Mary's in that Colonial Athletic Conference. We have one of our Hamburg alums, Dylan Crowley's down there pitching for George Mason.
Oh, he is down there.
Yeah, and so they'll be rivals over the next couple of years. That'll be fun to watch. One of those underrated conferences in the baseball world. Not always your household names, but oh my gosh, you better be ready to play ball in that conference.
Cal Nonan taking control of this one as he is not letting anything get by him.
Tough sticks. It's just, it doesn't matter. 1 through 9. There are no holes in either of these lineups here today.
And that's a drop third strike. I don't think he got the tag on it, but they got him on the throwdown. So nevertheless, it is a strikeout. And again, St. Joe's going 1, 2, 3. So coming up, we're going to get numbers 2, 3, and 4 at the top of the third. We'll be right back.
When it's time to sell your home, start with a visit to howardhanna.com, ranked the #1 real estate site for sellers. A few clicks will show you the sales price you can expect for your home. We can get you the most money in the quickest amount of time because we know where the local buyers are and how to reach them. So if it's time to sell your home, visit howardhanna.com today, and we'll match you with a local Howard Hanna agent to sell your home fast.
I love being home.
Avoiding care can lead to worse problems. Don't delay care. We're here for you. Western New York Immediate Care provides quick, quality care for non-emergent injuries and illnesses. Go to WNYImmediatecare.com for more information.
You know what, Derek, go ahead and finish that sentence. We were just talking about the ECIC scheduling and the conferences and everything like that. So go ahead and finish what you were telling us.
Well, I believe I would credit Dave Smith at Clarence for really igniting this idea, but we switched a couple years ago in the ECIC scheduling where we play all of our league games back to back. So like in this upcoming week, we'll play Will North on Thursday and Friday, and it's added in a really nice dynamic of the way that you set up your pitching rotation, and it certainly prevents a team from loading up and using their, if they had one horse, and saving him for the same team twice throughout the year. More of a series style idea. And I wouldn't be opposed to going to 3 games in league. I think that would really be cool, having, a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday set up.
At the shot right to the third baseman. He had to knock it down. Big play and a great scoop by the first baseman to get the first out.
First, again, Joey Haynes steps into the box. He knows what he's looking for, has a great approach, jumps on a great pitch, just misses it, and but just showcasing some speed down the line with a hard 90. Credit to Cooper Rosano at third for staying with that and unloading a great throw to first.
So Anthony Greco up to the dish. He made a phenomenal catch there in that last inning.
It's what we'd call a great take, You tip your cap to the pitcher for dropping in the backdoor curve there, and no, look at that. Great read on the pitch, seeing the pitch all the way, turning his yes into a late no.
How hard is it, Derek, at a young age like this to understand how a fastball versus a breaking ball comes out of the hand of a pitcher.
It's so for a lot of these guys at the varsity level, it may be the first time they're seeing a sharp, competitive curveball. And I think, when we see guys that maybe had some success at the JV level and that transition to varsity, I think one of the hardest transitions is seeing the whole pitch and laying off of a nice crisp curve in the dirt. We in our program we call it a late no, because we want our hitters to always start with a yes mentality, stay in yes mode as long as possible, and then instead of fishing and flailing at that curve in the dirt, we turn it into a late no.
Is it something that is easily coachable, or is it something where you may have to spend an extra hour or two in a batting cage readjusting the machines to really see it?
100%. It's got to be reps upon reps upon reps. Classic easy to say, hard to do type of scenario.
And again, we were talking about that wooden bat idea. Is that one was just slow little popper out to second base, but I want to go back to that real quick because I'm curious from my perspective. You talked about reps on reps, and that goes for anything. But does that affect your lineup when you go to put a lineup in? Is like, okay, is this a kid who we know this guy's throwing breaking balls, so maybe we don't put him in, or a defensive substitution?
Absolutely. It's a factor on that day, because I think at the high school level, you want a lineup that's going to competitively put the ball in play. You want, if you say we're going to have a very low strike, and not that you can't ever strike out, but if you have a hitter that can really compete, put the ball in play, and have a good two-strike approach, that's going to carry the day when it's time to make up those lineup cards. Or you could have a hitter where he's vulnerable to the off-speed pitch, but knowing, you've got a great fastball pitcher on the mound that day. If you got a hitter, you say, hey, we're going to sell out to the fastball today. We're really going to, just hunt that one pitch. And then he can usually stay out of a two-strike count and never get exposed, maybe.
D fly ball out to center field, easy pickings, and that'll conclude the innings. So no walks, no hits, no strikeouts either. And Joe's goes down in order as we go to the bottom of 3. Right back after this.
Even the most prepared moms experience the unexpected. When you do, we're here for you.
When you're ready to buy a home, start your search at howardhanna.com. You'll be the first to see new listings, find similar properties, and connect with a local Howard Hanna agent. Get started today at howardhanna.com.
Welcome back, folks. Bottom of 3 here at Niagara Falls between St. Joe's and Williamsville East. And it's funny, I've been able to say St. Joe's without a problem, but when I hit St. Francis, I kept saying St. Mary's. I don't know why.
A little tongue twister.
I guess we'll call it a bit of rust. It's a broadcast rust, right, Francis? I mean, you and I have done multiple games together. We'll call that a little broadcast rust. But
well, I think we're starting to hit our stride here, and, we're trending up.
It's funny, too. Derek, you told me before we started here, even during it, you're like, it's something new to you. You're a little nervous about it. But listen, for any coaches that are out there that want to know how it's done, ask Derek how it's done. It's gone very well. He'll give you the blueprints of how to do it for color analyzing for a game that you guys coach.
It feels like, we're just sitting on the couch at home watching a great game. And
the only thing we're missing is a few beers, maybe a hot dog.
couple cold beverages. Well, they wouldn't need to be too cold with this wind whipping. I was saying,
we probably get right out of the case.
We played at 1 o'clock. We were taking layers off. We were in our T-shirts. I think I actually got a little sunburned on the arms today, and here we are bundled up. But does not look to be affecting the players at all. Half of them have got the short sleeves on, and they got the adrenaline flowing.
That ball goes way out of play for the first strike of the at-bat.
You see these pitchers doing a great job of getting ahead in the counts today and just really pounding the zone.
So this is Nathan Wisniewski.
Another lefty, as you mentioned earlier.
That one out of play as well. And we were talking about the catchers and the backstops and their roles, and I was actually able to go down to Charleston, South Carolina. I had a job down there for a little over pre-COVID year, we'll say. And, I picked up a little bit of officiating down there. So, the catchers that were down there, I don't think I actually had to call time because I was laughing so hard at some of the stuff that was coming out of these kids' mouths. It was really funny. And I looked at and the coaches had a good sense of humor. And I remember the coach must have told the catcher to say something because I had to call time. And he just flat out looked at me right in the face and goes, "I told you."
Yeah,
I was like, "You got it. Like, come on. You can't do this to me in the middle of a game."
Well, I'll tell you, these catchers, and they're very candid in those moments. You get the unfiltered, honest version, there's no doubt. And I'm sure those coaches knew that they were dealing with some characters. So they, I'll tell you, I like the mound presence and demeanor of our pitcher here, David Alessi. Just nothing seems to faze him, just cool as a cucumber. Great job of moving on to the next pitch here.
And a shot going down the left field line, and it looks like it's going to just go out of play once again.
And a great approach by our hitter, Nathan, here, the Willie's catcher. You want in a 2-strike count, you want to see that fastball as deep as possible so that you have an opportunity to react to the off-speed pitch, and just really battling here.
And again, you got to take a moment to thank everybody involved for making this day of baseball what it is. Again, Frank Wolf, who's the brilliant mind, or as Francis and I like to call him, the evil genius, behind putting all these high school sports together for everybody's amusement. And again, Mr. Baseball himself, Tom Prince, for really, this is 3 years in the making, if I'm not mistaken, Francis, to get this to put together.
Yeah, I can remember the fall of 2019 when we started, hearing these ideas and the plans, and I credit Coach Nasca and Tom Prince for really getting this ball rolling, and Coach Helmbrick at West Seneca West, and Coach Smith down in Gowanda. It was a vision that they had. They thought that was going to take off in the spring of 2020. But here we are, getting it launched in 2022. Tremendous hustle by the St. Joe's right fielder out there, the leadoff man, Nate Casarsa. Off the bat, I didn't think there was any chance, and he made that very competitive.
I got to laugh. I never really thought about this until just now. I just heard a parent over here in the stands who didn't agree with the walk to first base. So they say to the umpire, "Come on, Blue." And I'm like, "Are you saying that because you don't agree with it or because it's cold and you want to go home?"
That's outstanding. Yeah. Well, in some of these frigid temperatures, it'd be hard to blame them in some of those situations. But I always try to remind myself, they don't get paid by the hour. So if they're calling it a ball,
True.
If I was an umpire, I'd look for every opportunity to call something a strike, I think.
Well, we got another strikeout here. It's the second of the outing, and we're back to the top of the order here with Milk, and it's classic. I mean, the coaches know it, and look, he was just told, and he's right back. He's right back in there again, and I told Francis earlier. I told the guy that I had in the game before. I was like, I got nothing. I got nothing. I don't know if it's a. I mean, he walked right back again.
Coach Nasca's a seasoned vet.
And I had a little conversation with him before. A great individual. He's coached this program very well. And, you see the product on the field, and you see how it goes.
That's exactly it. You see the product on the field year after year after year. They are either winning a Georgetown Cup or right there in the mix at the end of the year. And here's what I've always admired about Coach Nasca, and this could take me a while to list all these things, but the development in his program is something that I admire so much. The way he, from the moment you step onto their campus, he is ready to make you a better player. And I've seen it time after time after time. And that development component, I think, is what's really, elevated his program to where it is. And then you start to mix that with the talent that they're able to pull in, and he also does a great job of connecting with the college coaches. He's going to find you a home where you can go play and continue to thrive beyond high school.
And right to the track is where that ball went on the bat of Nathan Milk.
That ball carried. He's playing a mile deep, and he still went back to get that. It looks like 350 in straightaway center. And again, just to showcase the bat speed of Nate Milk, that was an effortless swing that just jumped off the barrel.
So I'm going to ask, just because I haven't really been around these past couple of years, so it's a different coaching style, but tell everyone a little bit more about Williamsville East's head coach, Chris Garain. I don't really know too much about him. He's a younger guy here. Let's just tell us about him.
Well, first of all, he can still play himself. He plays.
Looks like it. I met him before.
I can imagine if there's something that's not going right in practice, he can just grab the bat or whatever needs to be and just show him exactly how it needs to be done in a game. But on top of that, talk about a great demeanor that carries well in the sport of baseball. And you see the energy in their dugout, and I feel like these guys would run through a wall for him. It's very encouraging.
Well, again, it's like I said, it's a new regime, it's a new era for Williamsville East varsity baseball. But it's great to see. I mean, especially for myself, I've going here, seeing what I've seen with the coaching programs and the different sports. So for me, this is a breath of fresh air.
It's if you were I'll say an unbiased observer with no no interest, rooting interest, I should say. They're an easy program to root for. They hustle, they play hard, and they do things the right way. Great hack, very aggressive. He's not getting cheated. He's getting his money's worth here.
I had the privilege to be in the dugout with Craig Krzansky, longtime Williamsville South football coach and baseball coach as well. And I remember when I was over there, he always had a couple things to say. Is that it's about the kids and the development, and that is something that he strived upon so much when he was there, and just the way that. Yeah. There's a way that you coach, and then there's a way that you tell a parent what to do. And your parent can sit there and tell you all you want, but a coach is the one that builds you up, from the ground up essentially. The parents lay the foundation, but the coaches are the ones that they put the right environment in front of you. And that always kind of stuck with me with the way that Craig spoke about that. So
another great teacher. And again, I'll tell you what, I can't tell you how many times we'd play a Will South team at the beginning of the year, and you'd play them a month later, and it was a completely different team, the amount of growth he'd get out of his teams.
And we'll get back to more of that right after this quick break.
When it's time to sell your home, start with a visit to howardhanna.com, ranked the #1 real estate site for sellers. A few clicks will show you the sales price you can expect for your home. We can get you the most money in the quickest amount of time because we know where the local buyers are and how to reach them. So if it's time to sell your home, visit howardhanna.com today, and we'll match you with a local Howard Hanna agent to sell your home fast.
I love being home.
Avoiding care can lead to worse problems. Don't delay care. We're here for you. Western New York Immediate Care provides quick, quality care for non-emergent injuries and illnesses. Go to WNYImmediatecare.com for more information.
Top of the fourth inning here at Niagara Falls between St. Joe's and Will East. Myself and Derek Hill. And Derek, we were just talking about some of the coaching legends that you will throughout, I guess, any program in baseball. We brought up Craig Krzansky, and just there's no one better. I mean, there's a group of coaches that you could just say are, like you said, a great teacher.
Yep.
We'll call them the legends of the game in a coaching respect. So much respect for the guy. And, we would sit there during practices and we would just, he would let the head coach kind of take control of how he wanted things done. And he and I would just sit over there and he would really explain things to me. And for myself as a coaching an intern, those are the kind of things you thrive on. Things that I didn't even know that would affect something. And he really was able to sit down and break it down and just, go by play after play. And I'll never forget that, at least for myself. And I'll always owe it to him for really teaching me, what it meant to be there. It's not just about you. It's for the kids. It's for the team. And, I thought I knew what a coach was from what I've done. But, no, he's number one, top tier.
You had a front row seat to one of the greats. And I think it'd be interesting to, dive deeper into picking his brain and how he approaches coaching football compared to baseball. Certainly two different mindsets there. But the psychology of working with the high school athlete. And, pushing them to reach their max and what one works, what works for one player may not work for the next. I think that's what he really excelled at.
And I think he's over at Canisius now. Is that ball's hit over to third base? Clean play, 5-3.
Boy, there's so much athleticism on this infield right now. I see the first baseman here for Will East, Owen Valley, just a tremendous. You look at the athleticism. Sometimes you think of the old stereotypes of the big lumberjacks at first base, but just an extreme athlete with some great glove work over there. He wasn't tested there as Cooper threw a strike across the diamond. And as we predicted earlier, our pitcher Brian Smith is certainly settling in here after a first inning where 2 walks with 2 outs opened the door, and that's that's where St. Joe's got their 1 run, and we're sitting here with a 1-0 ball game.
Speaking of the 1-0 ball game, let me ask, what as a coach is better for you to witness? A high-scoring game where you got maybe say 7-7, 8-8 where people are hitting, or do you rather see something close-knitted where you see a pitching game where it's strikeout or the fielders are taking control and everything like that? What for you is easier to see?
That's a great question. I'm not quite sure. I don't know if I've ever thought about that.
I'm sure during the cold you'd rather see the high hitting, but in the warmer weather you could probably deal with either one.
Either one gives us a heart attack and the heart palpitations, skyrocket. But
that's popped up. First baseman tracking it, and he makes the play.
Great job staying focused with a runner bearing down on him on the line there. It's a great focus. And here we are with 2 quick outs.
Right. We were just telling Francis here between the break, we're already in the 4th inning. I mean, this is just, it's ticking right down the timetable here.
And that's what happens when you get 2 great teams. I think, one of the fears when we put the showcase together is that with baseball being so unique and these being non-league games that, we'd have a lot of, maybe the 4th pitcher in the rotation starting today and stuff. But I think for whatever reason, maybe the poor weather earlier in the week, we've got a lot of fresh arms coming into today's event, and we've seen some outstanding pitching.
Well, I know for these officials for the game, they had the game before this. Actually, the roles were reversed. The gentleman out in the field was behind the dish, and I think he wished he had this game behind the dish as compared to the last one.
Should have got paid extra maybe for the last one.
Right.
Yeah.
1-2 our count. The big lefty.
Great hack.
That might be trouble, but not for the left fielder as he comes running in to make the play. No hits, no walks, 3 outs, and we're going to the bottom of 4, right?
Yeah.
Oh, man, I just had a brain fart. We'll be right back.
When it's time to sell your home, start with a visit to howardhanna.com, ranked the #1 real estate site for sellers. A few clicks will show you the sales price you can expect for your home. We can get you the most money in the quickest amount of time because we know where the local buyers are and how to reach them. So if it's time to sell your home, visit howardhanna.com today, and we'll match you with a local Howard Hanna agent to sell your home fast.
I love being home.
If you've been injured in an auto accident, large or small, call 681-4088. RES Physical Medicine and Rehab right away. If you are in pain or just sore, don't take chances. Call RES today and take advantage of their 24 to 48-hour appointment pledge. With no copays, RES will help navigate the confusing world of no-fault insurance with you, so you can concentrate on getting better. 681-4088. RES Physical Medicine and Rehab. The most important call you can make after an auto accident.
Avoiding care can lead to worse problems. Don't delay care. We're here for you. Western New York Immediate Care provides quick, quality care for non-emergent injuries and illnesses. Go to WNYImmediatecare.com for more information.
Welcome back, folks. We are just speeding along here in this game between Williamsville East and St. Joe's. 1-0 in favor of St. Joe's. That came all the way back in the first inning, but nothing but pure pitching and great fielding.
And when there has been loud contact, they found a way to barrel it right at somebody.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting. I think the pitch counts are both quite low for both pitchers. It's going to be interesting to see how the coaches manage their starting pitchers who have both gotten into a really nice groove here and how far they're interested in letting them ride.
And we were just talking about the pure of pitching, and that is an absolute bullet down the left field line. That's going to be an easy stand-up double to lead off, and that is exactly what you're looking for from your cleanup hitter in Owen Valley.
Just jumps in the box, attacks the first pitch he likes, and an absolute frozen rope down the left field line deep into the corner for a stand-up double. And again, we were talking about his athleticism earlier. I'll tell you, that's about as fast as a first baseman as you're going to see get from home to second. Runner in scoring position with some more forward power coming to the plate to try to tie this game up. We've our left fielder Carmen Pinero grounded out to first base his last at bat, and but boy, I think that might be the first time I've ever seen him get out. He is such a tough at bat. Every time I've seen him get in the box, I feel like he hits a rope into a gap somewhere.
You know, it is funny. I had to laugh a little bit here because, you know, with all these lefties coming up, you know, for at least for our perspective, we're on the right side of the dish here. When they go up, you can't really tell if there's a substitution unless the coach comes out.
Yeah.
If we miss that, we're like, okay, can you swing so we can see what number you are on the back?
Yes. I just looked at our roster here. He's only a sophomore. Oh my goodness.
That's impressive.
This is a strong kid. And extremely seasoned. You know, you can tell by the way the kids step in and out of the box, the way they prepare to see a pitch. This kid's played a lot of baseball. Notice his positioning. He's up quite a bit in the batter's box, and not worried about the velocity as much, and just maybe trying to jump on an off-speed pitch here.
Easy pickets for the pitcher. He probably had to go, 10 feet maybe off the hill to catch that ball, but
I like the athleticism again. I think there's this misnomer that pitchers aren't allowed to catch fly balls and whatnot. But I'll tell you, any day of the week, a lot of times in high school baseball, one of your best athletes is the pitcher, and we've always encouraged ours to go get the ball. And credit to him, and got the hitter to chase a pitch up, maybe just a whisker out of the zone, perhaps. And with a runner on second base, you can't do much better than that.
maybe in the majors that might be a catcher's ball to get. But
yes.
Not here.
That's right. That's right. Ooh.
And that's a lovely shot to deep right center field. Getting on his horse, but can't reach it. And as that ball's going to go up against the fence, that's going to score at least one. And that's a bobbled ball. He thought about going for 3, and this game is tied after an RBI double by Ryan Freiling.
What a shot. And I dare say it was slightly off the end of the bat and still had the juice to get it out there to the 338 sign. Right fielder did a great job of tracking it and getting in quickly. And some great backup by the left fielder to hold Ryan Freiling at second base.
And again, that ball's going far, and it will be caught by the left fielder, and that will be the second out of the inning. And that's he's having himself a day out there, as Anthony Greco.
Yeah, not an easy pop fly to handle, kind of in no man's zone. You love to see your outfielder take control and be the alpha in that case, and certainly Anthony did that. So here we are with 2 strikes. They're trying to minimize the damage, keep it scored, and see if they can strand a runner at second base. Ooh.
And that one will make it through. That one's going to score. They're going to be aggressive on the base path, but they stopped them. Not a bad idea. So we got runners on the corners, 2 outs with a nice single.
And I'll tell you, certainly one of the factors in your coaching decision there when you're coaching third is, who's coming to the plate here with 2 outs. And I think that's a huge sign of confidence Coach Guerin has in his 9-hitter here, second baseman Sean Sansoni.
You know, it's funny when I was growing up playing ball, there was a couple of coaches that I'll call them and that's a shot going out to the left center field. That's going to bring in at least 2.
On your horse.
Again, it's a 2-run double by Sanson, and here come the Flames.
Boy, just like that, thought maybe St. Joe's was going to be able to minimize the damage to just, 1 run. And
I was just about to say the Flames are heating up, but I'm still cold.
It hasn't come our way yet. Wow, when your 9-hitter can step in the box and do that, you have a dangerous lineup. That's incredible.
I just talked about that last game too, is that, sometimes your number 9 batter isn't maybe the guy with the lower batting average, but he's the guy that, when you got your meat of the order that's on the bases, and then you got your 1, 2, and 3 coming up. I mean, it's a bold strategy. It doesn't always pay off, but sometimes that's, we just witnessed it.
That absolutely, and I think the production you get out of your 7, 8, 9 hole hitters can a lot of times be the secret sauce to a great season and a great postseason run, because there's going to be base runners on when they come up, and when they can extend innings, and either it's going to be, that's incredible, to be able to drive a ball in the left center gap like that to score 2. But most of the time, these can be your scrappy guys, the guys that have great strike zone awareness, that can draw a walk and, have some clever ground balls, find holes, and just, like we said, extend innings. But, man, when you can drive the ball like that, what a luxury the Willys program has here.
Going back to the programs, I know Williamsville North is in. Are they in your conference?
Yes.
So okay, so we have Williamsville North, and I think East and South are in the other conferences.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
So for me, when I was growing up and I was playing, either whether it was house, independent tournament, there were these 3 coaches, and I always called them the 3 Stooges. I'm not going to say which ones are which, but they always had friends within the school systems. So whenever they coached their teams, it made the recruiting levels, if you will, to these schools so much greater, because they would say, hey, listen, I got this kid who, he's going to be pretty big. Here's what we're working on with him, so he'll be ready to go. And some of these kids made varsity as freshmen. Yeah. Because, granted, we had the 12-year-olds at the time, and that's one thing that I'm always going to give the respect of for those guys is it's not easy to take kids of that age And I mean, you're essentially building them up to get ready to go for the high school level. And I'll always remember that as the varsity coaches look at the credit or the JV or the modified, but sometimes it's other members of the baseball world
absolutely.
that have an impact on the kids to get them ready to go.
Your grassroots program and your youth coaches, 100%. 99% of the success that these kids have on the field is a direct result of their youth coaches, and their summer coaches do such a great job of preparing them these days.
And we're going to take a quick break here and be right back.
Even the most prepared moms experience the unexpected. When you do, we're here for you.
When you're ready to buy a home, start your search at howardhanna.com. You'll be the first to see new listings, find similar properties, and connect with a local Howard Hanna agent. Get started today at howardhanna.com.
Being home.
And top of the 5th inning here at Niagara Falls, myself and Hamburg coach Derek Hill. And Derek, we were just talking about the youth programs and what's going on around Western New York. Is it's different. It's different from when I played, where when I played at 12 years old, that was there was an expectation that you had to meet, where almost like you were at a high school level, and that's what they tried to gear you up for. And I'll never forget it. There was even the style I had. I didn't realize how much of an impact that I actually made on a group of kids until I was actually at work one day, and half the team came in and they just started screaming out, "Coach!" And it mortified me, because I'm like, first of all, I'm at work, A, and B, I didn't really think that I had that much of an impact. I thought I was just the kid that everybody related to because I was closer to their age.
Yeah.
And I was blown away. Even the parents to this day will walk up, and I'm like, oh, wow. It was very humbling for me to have that experience.
You'll see those kids 10, 20 years later, and they'll still call you coach. It's quite a treat to hear that. But, yeah, it's easy. When you're in the moment, it's hard to grasp the magnitude of, your impact. But that's pretty wild. Boy, a big strikeout. St. Joe's, even though they gave up 3 that last inning, they're definitely riding some momentum here, ending that inning with a strikeout, and they're going to see if they can parlay that into some momentum here at the plate. And I'll tell you, here we are. We were just talking about the 7, 8, 9 hitters being the secret sauce to a great offense. We're starting the inning with our 8 hitter, number 14, Aaron Gents. But unable to get anything started.
Well, Tom Prince did tell us before this game even started this was going to be a battle of the pitchers for sure. Just the pitching matchup has been absolutely amazing. I mean, all around.
Well, Lease has to be very pleased with what they're seeing from Brian Smith here today. Fastball seems to have late life. He's placing it well, and complementing that with his curveball. It's quite a dangerous duo. Not a ton of strikeouts here, but he's being efficient in the zone. He's letting the defense behind him work, and he looks like he might be getting into a pitching his best yet.
So what's one thing that you'll do with your team to kind of bring everybody together, whether it's a team bonding, or well, I guess we'll just call it a fun overall outing. I know for me, when I was at South, we went bowling. That was our thing, because we had way too many trash talkers on the team that we had to humble just a little bit. So for us it was bowling. But what's something that you would do with your guys to do that with them?
Well, I'll tell you what, from that team building standpoint, I tell you, we just got back from Myrtle Beach over spring break, and a trip south is incredible when it comes to building a team. And I know we saw St. Joe's down there at the Ripken Experience. They played a ton of scrimmages with their large roster. But on top of that, I think it's just anything that involves spending time together. We like to, whether we're cooking s'mores once the weather gets nice, or we've done paintball in the past, we've done, all sorts of movie things. But anything that involves spending time together, you can't beat it.
2 strikeouts right now for Will East, as they're just floating on cloud 9 right now, getting 3 runs, coming in, 2 strikeouts right out of the gate.
And this is going to be a good test for Willie's here. If they can keep their foot on the gas pedal defensively, stay in attack mode, and try to end the inning here without giving St. Joe's any life. You know, and this is a good situation to be in. You're thinking as a pitcher, if I can find a way to get their leadoff hitter out to end the inning, then I don't have to worry about him in the next inning. And but I'll tell you, if he can find a way to get on, they're going to be dangerous here, even with 2 outs. Great block by Nathan Wisniewski. And in this case, you know, St. Joe's there, after giving up 3, you're thinking we don't need to get them all back at once. If we can get one here, get a little answer back.
You know, we talked about the consistency of an official. You know, it's crucial. I mean, if you're all over the board, it's tough to have your pitcher and catcher be in sync. And from what I've seen up to this point, he seems to be very consistent. There's a nice shot down the third base line. And what I call the alley-oop with the quick grab and throw, and that's going to conclude the top of the 5th inning as 3-1, Williamsville East over St. Joe's, and we're going to be right back after this.
When it's time to sell your home, start with a visit to howardhanna.com, ranked the #1 real estate site for sellers. A few clicks will show you the sales price you can expect for your home. We can get you the most money in the quickest amount of time because we know where the local buyers are and how to reach them. So if it's time to sell your home, visit howardhanna.com today, and we'll match you with a local Howard Hanna agent to sell your home fast.
I love being home.
Avoiding care can lead to worse problems. Don't delay care. We're here for you. Western New York Immediate Care provides quick, quality care for non-emergent injuries and illnesses. Go to WNYImmediatecare.com for more information.
Bottom of 5 here at Niagara Falls. What a matchup. Williamsville East 3, St. Joe's 1. Niagara Falls is the host. Myself, along with Derek Hill, coach of Hamburg, and we got a new pitcher on the hill, a big lefty by the name of, it is Brendan Parker, I believe the name is.
Yeah, Brendan Parker, and I'll tell you what, boy, he looks like he's got great stuff here. I really like the fluidity of the mechanics.
It's the leg kick for me.
Yeah, this looks like, but I'll tell you, in the credit to Coach Naska for giving us these stats here before the game. It looks like only his 2nd appearance of the year. He did have, he is spotting a 0.000 ERA, and I think he's going to be hungry to take advantage of this opportunity and see if he can give the offense a chance to get back in there and, you know, kind of hold this to a 2-run game.
So the big lefty Parker comes up to the hill. And it's going to be up against 2, 3, and 4 as that first pitch makes it in there for a called strike.
That's such a tough pitch. You know, you come in the 5th inning and, you know, first pitch of the game, he drops in a great curveball, complements that with a nice fastball
Just
there.
has great form from what it's phenomenal form. I mean, he's pitching from the windup here.
Great mound presence.
Doesn't waste any time. That's a fair ball, too. So he's going to get on it. He might go for 3 here. He's looking for the sign. He's going to look and stay in second base. So a leadoff double for the Flames.
Michael Stelrich, the shortstop, one of the, if not the top shortstop in Western New York. He'll be right in the middle of the conversation at the end of the year for all Western New York. He's a Binghamton commit. And speaking of Binghamton, the amount of money that they've put into their program out there is incredible. Nice to see a Northeast school compete and, try to, build a program that rivals some of the top Southern programs. And I think he's going to fit right in there with the Bearcats at Binghamton the next couple years. What a block.
That's a great facility in Binghamton. We were out there for the States a couple years ago for this. And,
no kidding. Yeah.
Great heads-up base running there to go get that back at third base.
Great dirt ball read. He read downward angle on that pitch and committed to it. And but a great block from behind the plate to keep that in front of him. Always an interesting call here. Looks like Coach Nasklin's got his middle infielders halfway here. And perhaps if they are able to get the first out, you may see him bring them in a little bit further. That's, again, another interesting call. It's interesting. We look at the analytics and the percentages of, they really say keep the infield back with no outs, but you can be more aggressive and bring them in with one. But here we go, first and third with no outs. We'll see how aggressive Will East wants to be and get the runner at first base started and try to get 2 runners in scoring position.
So Allen Valley coming in. Again, nobody out. Man on first and third.
It's an interesting spot to be in because certainly you've got a great catcher behind the dish that's got a great arm and can just go get the out at second. And boy, Owens looked good at the plate here today. He has barreled a couple of balls, had a stand-up double in his last at-bat, looking to stay hot here.
So Parker going from the stretch here, and I've always noticed that certain pitchers have different motions, and some pitchers actually pitch better from just the stretch. Some pitchers better go from the windup. I mean, they have to learn to go from the stretch when you got big guys on base, but some have a different way of moving around.
There's no doubt he's got a nice closed stance there in the set position. And as the life of a reliever, you're going to make your biggest pitches while in the stretch. And I remember reading an article, one of the great programs down in Arizona, they didn't let any of their pitchers even go to the windup until they were a senior. And it was a really interesting philosophy of teaching them to make their best pitches while in the stretch. Yeah, he's just, as a new pitcher in the game, you are always desperate to get that first out, and it's amazing how good it feels to get that first one out of the way. And there he is. He got it on a tough up and out pitch there.
Well, we talked about the power that he had and the mound presence, and that was a prime example of it right there.
We've got one out with first and third. Willie's trying to build on a 2-run lead. No lead is going to be safe with the firepower that's age. There's a runner in motion.
That's popped up, and we might get a chance for a double play here. As that ball hung up there. The hang time of that ball was nuts, but
we got a stopwatch on that. That was up there for at least 5 seconds. The runner at first, just about got all the way to second. Did a little U-turn and hustled
Rossano
back.
almost got caught. I think he had a sign to steal, and he had to hustle back, and good thing he got it right in the nick of time. And there's that lefty power move here, so now he's got to figure out what's going on. There's nobody at second base. They're going to try to make the play at the plate, and they can't do it. And a bit of a miscommunication all the way around as he is safe at second and safe at home.
Boy, it handled well by the first baseman. I thought he did a good job of keeping an eye on a runner on third, identified when he was breaking, and just unfortunately wasn't able to connect his throw cleanly with the catcher.
Well, it was a bit sloppy too. There was nobody covering second base, and by the time they decided to go, they were looking for him because the second baseman was trying to see what the runner was doing.
It's amazing what a tough play that is. Whenever you get the runner on third and the pickle in between first and second, that's a play. Yeah, I mean you could practice that for 800 hours and still not have that one figured out. I know. As a coach, it's always a tough decision. How much time are we really going to commit to this in practice? Knowing that, it may show up once or twice the entire season.
It was, great move on the pitcher. I mean, it really was.
Yep.
I mean, motion, everything.
Does have a very deceptive leg kick. Hard to decide when he's committed to going home and not. Boy, this offense just keeps coming at you.
This reminds me of the game that we had before this. It was back and forth, and then that one inning, and it was just oof. And they're going to fly out to shortstop, and that's going to.
So they tack on one more.
That'll take care of things there, and we're going to the top of the 6th when we come right back.
Even the most prepared moms experience the unexpected. When you do, we're here for you.
When you're ready to buy a home, start your search at howardhanna.com. You'll be the first to see new listings, find similar properties, and connect with a local Howard Hanna agent. Get started today at howardhanna.com.
Being home.
So on the hill for the Flames, I'm going to apologize in advance. So I'm going to take a shot in the dark here. Andrew Wisniewski, I'm going to go with. Again, I apologize in advance if I mispronounced that.
I was glad that you took a stab at it.
Well, you got the last one, so I figured I'd try this one.
Well, you mentioned in the previous game with Orchard Park and St. Francis that it was a tight game until one explosive inning late. And the funny thing about we do put a big emphasis about trying to create that big inning, because when you look at the box scores, a lot of times the winning team is going to score more runs in one inning alone to win that game. Like let's say the team wins 7-2. Well, you're going to look at the box score, and you're probably going to see an inning where there was 4 or 5 in one inning, and that one inning carries the game for them. So a lot of times, offensively, you're trying to create the big inning, and then defensively, you're trying to deny that big inning. You're trying to say, well, can we limit the damage? Can we stop the bleeding? And in case, well, just like last inning was a good example. St. Joe's gives up the leadoff double, and able to, when you're able to get out of that inning with only allowing 1 run, that's a great job of denying the big inning. And again, here we are with they've got 2 at-bats left to try to extend this game.
And on top of that, it's a great crowd for this again. I mean, all around, great support for ALS. For those that are out here in their blankets and their Snuggies or whatever blanket they have, you got to give them credit.
Well, they're being treated to a great game. And speaking of the crowd, when I pulled back in here for the start of this game, I could not find a parking spot. I drove around in circles for a while before I was able to wiggle into a little crack. Again, and as you mentioned earlier, I can't huge tip of the cap to Tom Prince and the staff at Western New York Athletics. It's so hard to appreciate the amount of work that they've done behind the scenes to organize this event and get this sucker launched. And like all great things, this is going to continue to evolve and get better year after year. And I thought one of the unsung heroes today has been, Niagara Falls High School, their baseball program and the staff. In between games, their grounds crew is doing a great job of prepping these fields and getting them ready to go with the dirt mound and dirt home plate area. And Niagara Falls has gone the extra mile. They're covering the umpire fees for all these games. Just huge thank you to Niagara Falls for doing so. It's, there's not many venues that have the 2 adjacent turf fields like this, and it really was an easy pick for our host here.
that's going to be sliced into left field. You know, I always got to laugh at some players. You know, they don't like a strike call, and then they go and they hit a ball, they get on base, and it's like, you know, what strike call?
A quick erase. There's no secret. I'm a huge fan of Joey Haynes, and the ability to flush a pitch that he didn't agree with and come right back in the box and jump on that one. Credit to him. He is a tough out. He's going to be a tear on the bases here. A good test for our new pitcher.
And I'm not quite sure what kind of sauce that was, but it had a weird side motion to it. It just didn't cut in.
I'll tell you, as a pitcher, what you try to be unique. You know, whatever you do, you try to be unique and different. We're seeing a different arm slot here from Andrew Wisniewski. And it's definitely he's got some funk on it, and it's almost like he's kind of got. I keep checking to make sure he's right-handed because there's something about him that spells lefty, and the extra movement and sauce, as you say, he's got on the pitch here. He's gonna be a tough kid to square up consistently, I think. Oh, and with that being
teed
said,
up,
oh
and
my
that's
gosh.
gone.
Oh my gosh. Just as I say that, Anthony Greco on cue finds a barrel and absolutely deposits that a mile to right center. Wow.
Well, things are getting interesting here at Niagara Falls as it is now 4-3 in favor of the Flames.
Wow. I tell you, you know, from our vantage point, I don't think as a pitcher you're going to be too displeased with the location of that pitch. You just got to. It was a good pitch that got met by a great hitter. Wow.
And, of course, things got to get interesting when it's starting to get really cooled down now.
It's, you know, got started with Joey Haynes reaching base and giving Greg a chance to get that 2-run homer.
And a great defensive stop on the second baseman, an even better scoop, and a great response from this Willys defense.
I tell you, and we've seen it in our own lineup, it's very hard to be the next batter and follow that home run. You know, and you just you try to have a mindset of just hitting a little frozen rope up the middle, and if it turns into back-to-back homers, you know, great, but always tough to follow the guy that just hit a home run before you.
There was a video that came out. I'm not sure if you guys might have seen it or they've talked about it, but there was a time where a batter came up to the plate. He hit a ball, and it hit a cop car. It was a home run, but he hit a cop car on the street that was behind it. That was iconic.
Oh. Our Division I catcher, Tom Zarecki, our DH here today, finds a hole in the 5-6 hole and drives one out to left field. Looks like we might have we got a pinch hitter, I believe. Pinch hitter,
is it a
23 for 18. So Jeremy Connor.
Oh, he's batting. No, it's a pinch runner.
And maybe a pinch runner to go as well. Number 7, Mike Noonan, jumping in to run.
So he's going to go in for Brendan Bucello. And this is a power move here on the bases for St. Joe's. Only one down, man on first.
Well, I think there's no doubt that we're seeing an elite base runner here at first base. With the depth of the St. Joe's roster, they've got that perfect pinch runner tucked in there.
Connor is 0 for 2 on this evening's contest.
Oh.
And 1-2 for the double play. And Williamsville East gets out of a bit of a jam there.
What a great turn by Willies to limit the damage and cling to that 1-run lead.
So we'll be right back for the bottom of the 6th coming up here.
Even the most prepared moms experience the unexpected. When you do, we're here for you.
When you're ready to buy a home, start your search at howardhanna.com. You'll be the first to see new listings, find similar properties, and connect with a local Howard Hanna agent. Get started today at howardhanna.com.
Being home.
Bottom of 6 action here, and a very busy 6th inning for both sides. Is 4-3 is our score.
Yeah, I got to apologize to St. Joe's hitters. I got all out of whack there. Yeah, this is tough business. I knew. I didn't think I was walking into an easy job today, and we're proving that it is. There's a lot to manage here.
Yeah, it looks like Parker will still get the nod on the hill.
Yeah, Coach Nazca showing confidence in his young pitcher. Say, give us a chance. Give our bats a chance. Let's go get 3 outs. We'll get back in the dugout. See what we can muster.
It looks like we're going to go on 7, 8, 9, and it looks like we might have a pinch hitter coming in here. I'll know in just a second here.
A lot of Lou Gehrig helmets you see up here, like we were talking earlier, the youth programs and how strong they are and what a credit they are.
So this is Alex Cook.
Number 12, Alex Cook. Good plate discipline. Sees a high curveball. Stay up and out of the zone. So many battles within the battle here. You're as a pitcher, you're trying to win that first pitch. You're trying to retire the first batter of the inning. And when you start to check those boxes consistently, you're going to have a pretty good day. And just like that, we got a 3-0 count. I'll tell you, that's a lot of different coaches will have different opinions on this, but I'm not against a green light on 3-0.
Nor am I.
It's some of our.
You know what's coming. Why not?
Yeah, especially if you trust the hitter to have that zone discipline, and you trust that. You know, some of the younger guys think green light means swinging anything, and of course that's not the intention. And there's ball 4. But when you trust your better hitters that have proven themselves before, they can really capitalize on that 3-0 pitch, and sometimes that's when they can do their most damage.
Listen, I got to tell you this one because this is something that happened with myself, and we have another pinch hitter here. This is number 24, Michael Cioli, and I'm going to start losing track of who's going in where.
You're doing a great job.
So Cioli being in, and I remember when I was playing in my younger years, bases were loaded. We're in the playoffs. I got a 3-0 count, and I got a take sign.
Oh.
You already know where I'm going with this. Don't ask me why. I don't know what caused me to do this, but I swung. Not only did I swing, I got a triple.
Oh gosh!
So I get to
clear those bases.
So I get to third base, and the coach just looks at me and he goes, 2 things. 1, never do that again.
Yes.
And 2, I can't really get mad at you because you just cleared the bases.
No, as a coach, yeah. You're like, great.
So
job.
it's like it was a learning, but at the same time, it was like, all right, good job.
No, that's outstanding. It's it's one of those deals. You give them the green light, and they pop up to the pitcher, and you feel like a goofball as a coach. But you gotta. I think the players appreciate that you showing trust in them. On the first pitch, our pinch hitter squared to bunt, and little pulls back on a pitch outside the zone, and a pass ball effectively does the job by advancing the runner to second as it is. Looking to bunt again and maybe advance him to third with just 1 out. This is see if St. Joe's runs a wheel play here. Oh,
it's a great
strung
bunt.
out there. He is in the middle of no man's land.
Now, I'm curious as to the decision on that one, but I'll wait till after this pickle's done. And there's 2 guys going to the bag
That's
here.
it.
But here's the thing, though. It goes to the lead runner, if I'm not mistaken.
You're
so
correct.
who's technically out here. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, they're going to give it. Okay. Huh.
First of all, what's lost in that play is a great job by the back runner getting from first to second. That's really well done by the young man who put down the bunt, Michael Cioli. Little indecision on the bases. Kind of a tough bunt to read as it got bunted right back to the pitcher. But certainly you don't want to give yourself up there. Great patience by our pitcher. Showed a great deal of composure, looking to check that runner.
Now, I don't know, Derek. I mean, this is just me. Maybe I was always more aggressive when it came to this, but you're running as soon as that ball's hit.
I'd like to say we're reading downward angle and you're gone, and you're saying, listen, I've got a good enough secondary, and with enough conviction, we're going to get to third, even if it is bunted back at the pitcher.
Right.
Like that.
I mean, I don't know how the warm-ups go, but one thing that I always do with my guys is always the practice of going 3-1 or 1-3 or whatever the situation is. I mean, go back to second, make him think you're not going to go, and then you take off for third base.
Yeah, maybe you can deke him out or something with a little false step. Oh, nice block.
So Sanson's up again. He got a double his last at-bat. He's 1 for 2.
Boy, if he can deliver with one more RBI here today, he's going to be in the conversation for player of the game. And
He works a walk.
That's the scrappiness of the 9-hole. You know, that's and basically he's acting as another leadoff in most cases there. Above average speed, great strike zone awareness, and starting to threaten here as they turn the lineup over. Center fielder Nate Milk coming to the plate. He's hit 2 balls really well to center field today.
So a situation that we have here now is one that most people don't really quite understand, and that's the situation with an infield fly rule. So batter runners on first and second or bases loaded, less than 2 outs. If a batter pops it up in the infield, he's automatically out. Runners can advance at their own decision. A lot of people don't really understand that. The amount of people that I've seen that have popped up and they don't, like, how is he out? I'm like, do you know what the rule is?
Or
well,
how
no.
many times have you seen one of the runners panic? And, you know, if the ball does get dropped, you know, the runner will panic. And we were having this conversation with a couple of high IQ ball players the other day, and they were saying, why do we even catch any of these? He's like, we have nothing to lose by letting it drop and seeing if a runner panics. And I'm like, it's so simple to say, but I don't know if it's an ego thing. Like, we just don't want to look like a goofball and let a routine fly ball drop. But
I mean, you know what? You're not wrong, but, you know, I look at everybody wants to play the big ball. Yeah. And what I mean by the big ball is that they want to, like you said, it's the ego thing. You want to make the catch, that you want to do the catch and turn or give that look. It's play the small ball a little bit, you know, let it drop and then make the play. Or, you know, you're not always going to win games by hitting home runs, which I feel like that's what everyone tries to do. Is they just want to smack a ball out of the park, which by all means, if you do, good for you. Yeah. But sometimes the singles and the doubles win ball games.
Oh, 100%. And as you progress later in the season and deeper into the playoffs, it's going to be more small ball than long ball. You know, if you do win a game with a long ball, that's a bonus. But you know, you look at the teams that make those runs to Binghamton and so forth. There's a lot of 1-run, you know, 2-1, 3-2 ball games sprinkled in there. And a crafty play like letting an infield fly drop just might be the ticket.
And there's the infield fly. Maybe I don't know. Yep, they're calling infield fly, so that's the automatic out. Did he drop it?
Oh,
was that the drop panic that we just referred to?
I don't know if it was on purpose, but wow, look at chaos ensue here. So I don't think did he call infield?
Yeah, infield fly was called, but did he drop the ball?
Nate's still standing on second base. I think their umpire's indicating that he is out.
No, so the runners are allowed to advance because the ball wasn't caught. So
yes, they can advance at their own risk, and they did a great job of taking off on that drop. Wow. But that's such a tough call, and I know this was an issue in, I believe, an MLB playoff game a few years back, maybe that involved St. Louis. You know, at what point does it transition from a routine catch to not so routine? And
Right.
that was one that was deep enough. Maybe the wind played a role in pushing it back out of the infield a little bit more. That's a really tough call.
It is, but here's what I was always told, and it is tough. It really is. I mean, because in the infield, you're looking at anywhere from the point of the plate to, we'll call it the dirt, all the way around the diamond. That's not always the case. I then found out later on that if the infielder that is at that position is able to make the play, it is still considered an infield fly. So if it goes into shallow outfield and the infielder is the one that's getting it, in theory, despite where the ball may drop, that's why they call it. So there's the fine line of, after the dirted area, there's like maybe 6 feet of a limit there, we'll say, of where you're allowed to catch that ball, and that's where they make that assumption.
Yeah, that is not. And certainly, I think if you're in the Willie's dugout, you've got an argument that maybe they should like to see him play that.
I'm hearing it from the parents already, and I'm already starting to laugh because I just know that they don't know what the rule is, which is why I find it funny. I heard at least 2 whats after he went back to the dugout. So it's just it's a lack of knowledge. It's a hidden rule. You don't get those very often at this level. I mean,
wow.
Right. Wow is probably the correct way to put it. It really is. But I can't tell you how many times that ball is going right to the shortstop. He's going to slice that one over to first base, and that's going to end the inning.
Wow.
And right before we go to break, though, I want to finish this thought. I can't tell you how many times that play will happen, and nobody seems to understand it because it doesn't happen all the time. It doesn't.
Yeah. No, you're right. You can go half your season without seeing that play. You're 100% right.
And on that note, Francis, take us to break. We'll come back with top of 7.
When it's time to sell your home, start with a visit to howardhanna.com, ranked the #1 real estate site for sellers. A few clicks will show you the sales price you can expect for your home. We can get you the most money in the quickest amount of time because we know where the local buyers are and how to reach them. So if it's time to sell your home, visit howardhanna.com today, and we'll match you with a local Howard Hanna agent to sell your home fast.
I love being home.
Avoiding care can lead to worse problems. Don't delay care. We're here for you. Western New York Immediate Care provides quick, quality care for non-emergent injuries and illnesses. Go to WNYImmediatecare.com for more information.
Well, I promise you, I'm not a wizard. I'm not a psychic. I did not know that the infield fly was going to happen, but I've seen it too many times in this game where I feel like anyone who's listening or has live coverage of this game needs to understand this, the circumstance. Coaches spend all their time trying to strategically place their fielders, telling batters what to do. And I'll be honest with you, if I didn't say nothing, do you think people at home are going to realize what just happened?
That's a tough one to sort out,
right? Exactly.
Especially in the event that the ball dropped
Correct.
And then the runners all took off.
So
it's one of the more chaotic.
For anyone who's listening and didn't understand, you're welcome. It's called an infield fly. It happens. If you want to know more, look it up. But that's.
But it's a good point here as Willis looks to lock down a great non-league win here. They're looking to get 3 more outs. Joe's needing 2 runs to extend the game. But, as a coach, you spend so much time on the other finer details. You're saying, I'd hate to lose a game because my base runners didn't understand that rule.
Right.
And you're like, that's not the way we want to go home on.
Don't misunderstand. It's not a hidden rule. It's very basic. If you ever have the opportunity to watch a baseball game, it's called quite often. And especially where that ball landed, I've seen infield flies that have been called arguably like in the outfield.
Deeper than that, yeah.
But because the infielder went for it, that's why they called it an infield fly. Yeah. It's like, wait a minute. And it is, and it's an argument every time, unless it's like in the infield grass.
Really cut and dry, yeah.
Right, and then that's a different story. But it's also different. When I was younger, as an umpire, we screamed it so everybody heard it, and they're like, "Oh, okay, that's what it was."
Leave
But
no
nowadays,
doubt.
they just point the finger up, and if you're not paying, no one's going to watch the umpire.
Yeah.
No one's going to see the finger go up. I mean, the coaches who have the knowledge, they understand it. The players have a knowledge of it, but
No, that's you see your really good umpires. They will say that with authority and leave no doubt. That's boy. I feel like we are set up for a great finish to a great ball game here.
it is. I mean, these are two teams, and for me, this is how I want to go out for the day, as we get our first strikeout, 2 away, and listen, you could tell the catcher.
1 away. Yeah, 1 away. Boy, he is living low. Our pitcher, Andrew Drajewski, is.
Francis, what are you doing to me over here? Did I say 2? Okay, sorry, I meant 1 out. And for me, as the catcher, if you're you could tell they're running on adrenaline. He tried to throw that down to the third baseman, and that was not a good throw.
Just keeping the left fielder involved. That's what we
There
like
you
to
go.
say. Boy, he's got what we call some high-quality misses here. Anything that hasn't been called a strike has been a competitive pitch, and he's missing low. And the type of misses as a coach you're comfortable seeing.
Right to the shortstop, routine catch, laser to first base, and an even better scoop.
Big.
2 down.
Just like that. Well, I tell you, it is a tough arm angle, which I think just makes the home run that Anthony Greco hit in the previous inning that much more impressive to be able to elevate one of those low pitches.
So Anthony Milano coming in to pinch hit the number 9 spot. 2 outs. St. Joe's down by 2. First pitch down low.
Well, you never know. If he can find a way, if Anthony can find a way on, they're going to turn the lineup over to the top of the order. And that's the beautiful thing about baseball is there's no clock out here.
And there's a shot. There's the shot to center field, and maybe we just witnessed the spark of a St. Joe's comeback here.
That's certainly energized the dugout, and Coach Nasca with pulling all the right moves here, getting just the right pinch hitter in there to extend this game.
So pinch hitting in is Frank DeLeo, who's coming in. Man on first base. He represents the less than 1. The runner or the batter is the tying run.
So as a defense, you're trying not to get too consumed with the runner at first. Really, he means nothing at this point. You're trying to
I'm
put
going after the batter.
Yeah,
Yep.
100% of your energy on attacking this hitter. You'd even see some situations where maybe you have the first baseman play back, except for the fact that you're trying to keep the double play, not obviously, so that you have a chance at a flip in the middle. But here we go.
And like I said, there's the spark. Maybe this is the ember. Let's see if the flame comes after it. No pun intended. I promise you that was nothing to do with the flames. I'm just saying.
Well, you got the right guy at the plate if you're St. Joe's here.
Yeah, Haynes,
And he's
1 for 3. And we're having some kind of I don't know if it's a substitution. I don't know what we're doing here. Maybe a pinch runner.
Yeah. And Joey's seen this pitcher. He was the first batter to reach safely off this pitcher.
Yeah, well, looks like we're getting a pinch runner. This is going to be 21, Josh Eagle. And I wonder if he flies like an eagle.
He's going to have to score from first here. Well, I tell you what, if he can find a gap with one of these, it might be just enough to score 2 and tie this game. Or if nothing else, you get the.
There is a massive hole in right center field right now.
Absolutely massive. If nothing else, if he can get on and bring last year's All-Western New York and Monsignor Martin Player of the Year to the plate, if you're Will East, you're really thinking we got to end this now. What a great conclusion to our first Western New York Athletics showcase here today, the nightcapper. Well, the one thing you know is Haynes is going to see a good pitch to hit here at some point, because they are not interested in seeing the guy on deck come to the plate.
No. I mean, you want to talk about weapon.
Wonder if we might have been riding a take sign there. Hard to say for sure, but that was a pretty good hitter's pitch there. Catcher and pitcher gonna just make sure they're on the same page here before they execute the next pitch. I'll tell you, in a moment like this, there's no such thing as too much communication.
Nope.
You know? Let's see. Infield's back, playing maximum range here, knowing they can step on any bag wherever the ball takes them. And as an outfielder, and here's where your infielder is going to turn around and remind your outfielders is, listen, we don't need, you know, if the lead runner scores here, it's no big deal. If we can hold the runner at first to just advancing 90 feet and hold him at second base, that's a win. Oh.
Yeah, you could tell they're looking for that walk. You could just tell already, but that's all right.
Okay, we got full count, 2 outs. Coach Naska's reminding his guys to make sure the pitcher's going home. They're going to be in motion. That's going to force our infielders to probably have to throw the ball across the diamond here.
And you know the runners are going to go here.
Here they go.
And that's ball 4, and this is probably the last person you want to have coming up to the dish.
We could not have scripted a better moment for the fans here. Wow. Anthony Greco, who homered to deep right center in his last at bat, off of what we thought was a pretty good pitcher's pitch. But the great athletes thrive on these moments, and I think he is locked in. Williamsville looking to stick with number 1 here to close this game out. Looking to breathe a sense of confidence into their pitcher here. And you're thinking, as a pitcher, you're thinking, I'm 1 pitch away. If I can execute 1 great pitch here and get them to roll over something, maybe pop up to the infield, we're going to have a fun bus ride home. Now as the outfielders, your mindset is, okay, we've got a tying run at second, the go-ahead run at first, but even then, we get to bat again. So it's nothing's really do or die here. If we can minimize the damage, ooh, that's it. That's good. That would have been a really, really close play. And I think now if that had been the tying run on third, maybe you roll the dice and you're a little more aggressive.
Oh, yeah.
But down 2.
Tying run is on second. The go-ahead is on first. Base hit ties this game. I got to remember the outfielders are playing extremely deep, so a shallow hit, I mean, that might bring in everyone.
Great backdoor curve there. And a great, we call it, that's a great take. That's a great take. That's not the pitch that you're looking to drive. Sitting on a fastball here. I don't know if Willie's has a delayed back pick to first base, and it would be a gutsy call to say the least. But if we get behind too much, if we get behind 3-1 in this count, it may not be a bad idea to attempt a back pick to first base. We've got some aggressive secondary action.
big cut.
Wow.
So we got 2 strikes
Did
now.
not get cheated on that pitch.
Nope.
Or on that swing. That would have tied the game, if not more. Here we go. 2-2 count, I believe.
Yep.
2-2.
Talk about the last pitch.
The fans are getting their money's worth. This is exciting stuff. This is what great high school baseball is all about. It's in a 2-strike mindset here, looking to protect and extend the at-bat, extend the game. Good.
You know, part of me is almost kind of thinking at the same time, too, is, you know, even if you walk them, you're okay.
Yes.
But at the same time, it's like, well.
A little different situation, but we saw Joe Madden intentionally walk a batter with the bases loaded a couple weeks ago. And it's a wild decision, but you're right. A walk in this situation, you still have the lead. They're off and running on the pitch here. Ooh.
You know, I'm not gonna lie to you. I thought that was it, and he just stopped to give himself up. But then I saw the base umpire put his hands up for foul ball.
Yeah. Yeah, I think with our headsets on, I did not hear any indication, and I was.
No, I didn't. I'm keeping mine on because my ears are warm right now, so that's why I didn't take it off.
Yeah, oh, baby, here we go. Let's do it again. Runners will be in motion.
I mean, my personal thoughts on this. Unfortunate way to end it, but you can't be looking for the walk there either.
It's a tough play. But credit, I'll tell you what, you see the juice in the Willies dugout here. They are psyched up. And, boy, a great game by 2 super competitive teams. And like most great games, they come down to 1 or 2 pitches. Well, it's been a real pleasure here today. Thanks for taking me along for the ride. And
yeah, no problem. I mean, Francis, what do you think? I mean, we'll probably just end it here, right? I mean, any quick player of the game for you?
Oh my gosh, that's a great. You know what? I'm going to go with the starting pitcher for Will East. I thought after a couple of walks in that first inning, he really settled in and just showed tremendous command. And that's my knee-jerk reaction here off the cuff. But certainly, and everybody in their lineup seemed to contribute in one way or another. They were a mixture of they're a well-balanced offensive machine. But yeah, credit to both teams. You're going to see both these teams continue to go on, have a great month of May, and extend their seasons into the playoffs. That's for sure. Absolutely,
2 good powerhouse schools, and looking forward to see what they have in the future. But for all of us here at WNY Athletics, we will say good night and thank you very much.